How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just want to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite from last night, which was September 1st, 2021. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match one, it was Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz, versus FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Proud and Powerful, went over cause Santana pinned Cash Wheeler with a double reverse facebuster from Santana and Ortiz. That's match one, by the way. Match two, it was Orange Cassidy versus Jack Evans. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Orange Cassidy went over with a small package. But after the match, as Jack Evans was pissed off because Orange Cassidy beat him, well, Matt Hardy came out and beat the shit out of Orange Cassidy and was getting ready to execute the leech on Orange Cassidy, but Chuck Taylor and Wheeler Yuta came out to even the odds, and then the rest of the Hardy family office, which are Mark Quinn, Isaiah Cassidy, and Helico, and The Blade, came out and attacked Chuck Taylor and Wheeler Yuta from behind, and then the Jurassic Express. The rest of the Hardy family office, which are Mark Quinn, Isaiah Cassidy, The Blade, and Angelico, attacked Chuck Taylor and Wheeler Yuta from behind and beat the shit out of them, while Matt Hardy and Jack Evans joined in, beating the shit out of Orange Cassidy as well. Then the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Marco Stunt, came out, and the Hardy family office retreated, so the best friends, which are Chuck Taylor, Orange Cassidy, and Wheeler Yuta, stood tall, along with the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Marco Stunt, while the Hardy family office, which are Matt Hardy, Mark Quinn, Isaiah Cassidy, The Blade, and Helico and Jack Evans were out of the ring and staring down the best friends and the Jurassic Express and everything. That was cool. Match three, it was Powerhouse Hobbs versus Brian Cage. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Powerhouse Hobbs went over with the Town Business. That was match three, by the way. Match four, it was Ty Conti versus Penelope Ford. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Ty Conti went over with a roll-up. Well, after the match, Penelope Ford and the Bunny attacked Ty Conti from behind. Well, Penelope Ford attacked Ty Conti from behind, and then the Bunny came in, and the Bunny and Penelope Ford were beating the shit out of Ty Conti. Then Anna Jay returned and came out to make the save for Ty Conti, but Penelope Ford and the Bunny retreated, while Anna Jay and Ty Conti were in the ring, and Penelope Ford and the Bunny were outside the ring. They were staring each other down and everything, which that was cool. That was match four, by the way. And match five, which was the main event, it was the Elite, which are Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Doc Gallows, and Carl Anderson, versus the Lucha Brothers, which are Ray Phoenix and Pena El Cerro Miedo, and the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Elite went over because Matt Jackson pinned Ray Phoenix with the Meltzer driver from Matt and Nick Jackson. Well, after the match, Kenny Omega and Michael Nakazawa came out, and the Elite ganged up on the Lucha Brothers and the Jurassic Express, and they took out Jungle Boy, beat the shit out of him and took him out, and they took Luchasaurus out. beat the shit out of him, but the Good Brothers, which are Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, executed the Magic Killer to Luchasaurus through a table, and Jungle Boy was already laid out. And then Marco Stunt was too, and it was laid out too. Marco Stunt was, but Kenny Omega, but Christian Cage came out to even the odds, and Christian Cage executed the spear to Kenny Omega, and then started beating the shit out of the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, and then Kenny Omega was signaling for the Elite to help him. Well, as the Young Bucks got the 2-on-1 advantage on Christian Cage, the Good Brothers joined in and beat the shit out of Christian Cage, and then Kenny Omega was still talking shit, and he was saying, I had a meeting with Tony Khan earlier on today, and we had fun talking about ratings and video games and everything, but Tony, you shouldn't leave missed property lying around. He said, Don Callis, let her rip. So Don Callis lowered the steel cage. Well, while the Elite were in the ring with Christian Cage and the Lucha Brothers, and as the cage was being lowered down, the Elite were continuing their attack on Christian Cage and the Lucha Brothers, and then Alex Abrahantes signaled for backup, so Dante Martin and Frankie Kazarian and Dante Martin came out to try to save Christian Cage and the Lucha Brothers, but before they got the chance to climb the cage, Brandon Cutler sprayed their eyes with pepper spray and got them down. And then Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt tried to enter it too, but they got sprayed in the eyes with the pepper spray. And Orange Cassidy came into the ring, tried to go in, was out there too, but didn't even attempt to get in the cage because he knew the repercussions. But Kenny Omega kept talking more shit while the Young Bucks and the Good Brothers were beating the shit out of the Lucha Brothers, but the Lucha Brothers got handcuffed to the ropes, and Nick Jackson was doing multiple super kicks to Rey Fenix and Penta El Cerro Miedo, and Kenny Omega got Nick Jackson to calm down and then told him to let's continue the attack on Christian Cage. But before the Lucha Brothers got handcuffed, the Elite had Christian Cage and the Lucha Brothers in the middle of the ring, choking them with kendo sticks and everything. And then that's when they handcuffed the Lucha Brothers, and then Nick Jackson done them multiple super kicks. But then Kenny Omega had Matt Jackson, I told Nick Jackson to calm down, so Nick Jackson, and then said, let's continue our attack on Christian Cage. Well, the Young Bucks held Christian Cage down, and Kenny Omega was signaling for the BTE trigger, so the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega done a V-trigger, BTE trigger combination to Christian Cage and laid him out, so the Elite stood tall and everything. That was cool. And that was after the match between the Elite versus the Lucha Brothers and the Jurassic Express, by the way. Now, besides the matches, Daniel Garcia and 2.0, which are Matt Lee and Jeff Parker, cut a promo, and Matt Lee and Jeff Parker were talking about how they were going to prevent the match between CM Punk versus Darby Allin from happening at All Out and everything. And then Daniel Garcia was talking about how he was going to destroy Darby Allin on AEW Rampage to make sure he doesn't get his match against CM Punk at All Out and everything. That was cool. CM Punk came out and cut a promo and CM Punk was talking about how he hadn't been in the ring for 7 years, and how this may be the last time you see CM Punk in a wrestling ring because he's nervous and he's scared and everything. And then Daniel Garcia in 2.0 came out, and CM Punk was beating the shit out of CM Punk tackled Daniel Garcia down the ground, was beating the shit out of him, and then 2.0 ganged up on CM Punk, and the numbers game got too much, and so Daniel Garcia and 2.0 were beating the shit out of CM Punk. Then Sting and Darby Allin came out, and Matt Lee and Daniel Garcia went out of the ring, and Sting started beating the shit out of Matt Lee, and Darby Allin started beating the shit out of Daniel Garcia, and then CM Punk started beating the shit out of Jeff Parker, and Sting and Darby Allin got Matt Lee and Daniel Garcia back in the ring, and continued to beat the shit out of them more, while CM Punk continued to beat the shit out of Jeff Parker. Well, Sting executed the Scorpion Death Drop to Matt Lee. Darby Allin executed the Coffin Drop. Sting executed the Scorpion Death Drop to Matt Lee and laid him out. Darby Allin executed the Coffin Drop to Daniel Garcia and laid him out. And then CM Punk executed the GTS to Jeff Parker and laid him out. And Sting got a microphone and was saying, CM Punk, I have mucho respect for you, and our paths never crossed in the business of professional wrestling till now. And I enjoyed dropping Matt Lee with the Scorpion Death Drop. I enjoyed seeing Darby Allin execute the Coffin Drop to Daniel Garcia, and I enjoyed seeing you put Jeff Parker to sleep with the Go to Sleep. Now, Darby's ready for your match, for the match Sunday, and I know you're ready. But since Darby is my protege, and I have a lot of respect for you, Punk, I'm going to go out there on Sunday. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to fist bump my partner, and I'm going to go backstage, because so you and Darby can have your match one-on-one and everything. And then Sting, CM Punk, and CM Punk and Darby Allin stared each other down, had a stare down, got in each other's faces and stared each other down and everything, which that was cool. AEW aired a video package of the build-up of the match between Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage for the AEW title at All Out, which that was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed MJF, and Tony Schiavone was talking about how he was uncomfortable interviewing MJF because he was a no-good bastard and everything. And then MJF was talking about how Chris Jericho is like the Muhammad Ali of professional wrestling, trying to come back to hog the spotlight and to beat him, to get battered and beaten again and everything. And then MJF talked about how it was going to be, how Chris Jericho was the greatest of all time, no doubt, but this Sunday at All Out, he's going to have the distinct honor in ending a career of the greatest professional wrestler of all time, Chris Jericho, and everything. And also talked about how he was gonna be the next greatest of all time, which he already is, and he was gonna do it by ending Chris Jericho's career and everything. That was cool. AEW aired a video package of the build-up of the match between Miro versus Eddie Kingston for the AEW TNT title, uh, at All Out. Wait, AEW aired a video package of the build-up of the match between Miro versus Eddie Kingston for the AEW TNT title at All Out. That was cool. Jon Moxley cut a promo talking about his match against Satoshi Kojima at All Out, and Jon Moxley was talking about how Satoshi Kojima was the only one that had the balls to accept his challenge at All Out, and was talking about how after All Out he was going to show up in Cincinnati, Ohio that following Wednesday with Satoshi Kojima's head and everything. That was cool. Jim Ross interviewed Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho in the interview was talking about how Chicago is Jericho because Jim Ross helped him get signed to in another company, and talked about how he got his main event status there and everything. And then Jim Ross asked Chris Jericho, why did he choose the stipulation? Why did he make the stipulation of putting his career on the line? Well, Chris Jericho was saying the reason he put his career on the line is because if his goal is to beat MJF, and if he can't beat MJF, then he's going to retire. And Chris Jericho was saying he wants to stick around for a long time and win more championships and everything, but at the same time, but if he can't beat MJF, he's going to give it up and everything. And Chris Jericho called MJF a piece of shit and was saying how he was going to kick his ass and everything. And it was saying that he was going to stick around for a long, long time, and that he wasn't going to go nowhere because he was going to beat MJF. But if he can't beat MJF, he's going to retire and everything. That was cool. Darby Allin cut a promo talking about his match with CM Punk at All Out, and was saying how CM Punk said that that 15-year-old CM Punk would have loved Darby Allin, and Darby Allin cut a promo talking about how Darby Allin cut a promo talking about his match with CM Punk at All Out. And Darby Allin was talking about how CM Punk said if he was 15 years old again, Darby Allin would be his favorite wrestler. Well, Darby Allin said, well, when I was 15 years old, CM Punk was my favorite wrestler. And it shocked me to know that he came to AEW. And CM Punk, you said that I was first on your list. Well, I take offense to that, because you are overlooking me. I should be last on your list, Punk. But at All Out, I'm going to beat you. And everything. That was cool. Malachi Black cut a promo talking about why he left the ring when Lee Johnson came into the ring after his match with Brock Anderson last week on AEW Dynamite and everything. And Malachi Black was saying, I didn't leave the ring because Malachi Black was saying, Lee Johnson thinks I left the ring because I'm afraid of him. No, Lee, I'm not afraid of you. The reason I left the ring is because I didn't want to do the same damage to you like I did to Cody Rhodes, Arn Anderson, and Arn Anderson's son, Brock Anderson. But I'm going to tell you, Lee Johnson, this Friday on AEW Rampage, it's going to be me and you. And I will do the same to you as I did to Cody, Arn, and Brock. And I'm going to send you down to Hades at that and everything. That was cool. QT Marshall, wait, The Factory, which are QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, and Nick Camarado. The Factory, which are QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, and Nick Camarado were out in the ring along with some of the trainees of the Nightmare Factory, and QT Marshall QT Marshall got on the microphone and said, "Paul White, why don't you come out here? It'll just be me and you." So Paul White came out to the ring, and Aaron Solo, Nick Camarado, and some of the trainees at the Nightmare Factory ganged up on Paul White and were trying to beat the shit out of him, and Paul White shoved them all out of the way. Paul White executed the knockout punch to one of the Nightmare Factory trainees. Paul White done a double clothesline to Nick Camarado, one of the other Nightmare Factory trainees. Paul White executed the choke slam to one of the Nightmare Factory trainees, and as all the trainees and Nick Camarado were laid out, Aaron Solo tried to execute a top rope move to Paul White, but Paul White slapped Aaron Solo in the chest as he was going down. Aaron Solo went out, and then the Gun Club, QT Marshall was already out of the ring, but the Gun Club, which are Billy, Austin, and Colton Gunn, came out to be on the side of Paul White. Well, QT Marshall got a steel chair and was getting ready to go into the ring. Well, Billy Gunn took the steel chair away from Paul White. QT Marshall got a steel chair, was trying to go into the ring to attack Paul White and the Gun Club, but Billy Gunn grabbed the steel chair from QT Marshall, and as the Gun Club were standing behind Paul White, while Paul White and the Gun Club were staring QT Marshall down, the Gun Club were behind Paul White, and Billy Gunn attacked Paul White from behind in the surgically repaired hip with a steel chair, and then Billy Gunn hit Paul White in the head, over the head with a steel chair and laid him out, and then the Gun Club left the ring, and then Aaron Solo and Nick Camarado come back in the ring, and QT Marshall got back in the ring, and Aaron Solo and Nick Camarado held Paul White down, and QT Marshall executed the diamond cutter to Paul White and laid him out, and QT Marshall stood tall over Paul White, and then the Factory left the ring while Paul White was laying out and everything. That was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed Britt Baker, Jamie Hay. Tony Schiavone. Tony Schiavone interviewed Britt Baker, Rebel, and Jamie Hayter, and Tony Schiavone was talking about. Tony Schiavone was asking Britt Baker who the newest the newest free agent in the professional wrestling business was, and Britt Baker was talking about how she's the free agent because she resigned with AEW, and she'll be there for a long, long time. And Britt Baker also announced that Rebel and Jamie Hayter will be in the 21-woman Casino Battle Royal at All Out. And then Britt Baker also announced that she talked to Britt Baker also said she talked to Tony Khan and wanted a match to happen on AEW Rampage, and that match will be Rebel and Jamie Hayter versus Chris Statlander in a 2-on-1 handicap match and everything. And Britt Baker was talking about how if Rebel or Jamie Hayter win the 21-woman casino battle royal at All Out, then the title match is off because Rebel's her assistant and Jamie Hayter is her enforcer and everything. Because I'm Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and everything. That was cool. Alex Marvez interviewed Thunder Rosa, and Alex Marvez was asking Thunder Rosa what are her chances of winning the 21-woman casino battle royal at All Out. Well, Thunder Rosa was getting ready to talk, but Nyla Rose, Vicky Guerrero, Jade Cargill, and Mark Sterling all appeared, and Thunder Rosa was saying, "Really, you got really, ladies, y'all want to fight me? Well, we're gonna fight." And then Thunder Rosa started attacking Nyla Rose, beating the shit out of her, and then Jade Cargill attacked Thunder Rosa from behind, and then Nyla Rose and Jade Cargill ganged up on Thunder Rosa and beat the shit out of her and laid her out. Then Nyla Rose and Jade Cargill stared each other down and everything, and then Mark Sterling got in the middle of it and said, "Ladies, let's not fight right now. Let's wait till the 21-woman casino battle royal at All Out." And then Vicky Guerrero was saying to Mark Sterling, "That's the smartest thing you ever said, Mark." And then Mark Sterling said, "Well, I don't know about that, Vicky." And then Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero left talking strategy, and then Jade Cargill and Mark Sterling left talking strategy and everything, which that was cool. And AEW aired a video package of the build-up of the match between Chris Jericho versus MJF at All Out, which that was cool. Now, besides all that, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. Taz done guest commentary along with Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur during the match between Powerhouse Hobbs versus Brian Cage. Taz done great on guest commentary, and Don Callis done guest commentary along with Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur during the match between the Elite versus the Lucha Brothers and the Jurassic Express. Don Callis done great on guest commentary. The referees for the event were Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Aubrey Edwards. Paul Turner refereed the match between Proud and Powerful versus FTR. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Orange Cassidy versus Jack Evans. Rick Knox refereed the match between Powerhouse Hobbs versus Brian Cage. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Ty Conti versus Penelope Ford, and Rick Knox refereed the match between the Elite versus the Lucha Brothers and the Jurassic Express. All the referees done awesome as usual. Oh yeah. Sorry. The match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage this Friday. Wait a minute. The match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage tomorrow night. It's going to be. The match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage tomorrow night. It's going to be Darby Allin versus Daniel Garcia, Malachi Black versus Lee Johnson, and Rebel and Jamie Hayter versus Chris Statlander in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Those are the matches that have been announced. But besides the matches that have been announced, CM Punk will be appearing live, and Miro will be appearing live. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage looks like it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to see it. I'll be watching it when it comes on, because I'll be off work tomorrow. Now, the match card... Now, give me a second. Just a second, everyone. Okay. And the match card for All Elite Wrestling's pay-per-view event, AEW All Out 3, for the pre-show. The match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW All Out 3. There's the pre-show and there's the main show. For the pre-show, it's going to be the Hardy Family Office, which are Matt Hardy, Mark Quinn, Isaiah Cassidy, Angelico, and Jack Evans, versus the Best Friends, which are Chuck Taylor, Orange Cassidy, and Wheeler Yuta, and the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. That's for the pre-show. And for the main show, it's going to be Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage for the AEW title. The Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, versus the Lucha Brothers, which are Rey Fenix and Penta El Cerro Miedo, in a steel cage match for the AEW Tag Team titles. Miro versus Eddie Kingston for the AEW TNT title. Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's title. Paul White versus QT Marshall. Chris Jericho versus MJF. And the stipulation is, if Chris Jericho loses, he has to retire from in-ring competition. CM Punk versus Darby Allin. Jon Moxley versus Satoshi Kojima. And the 21-woman Casino Battle Royal to determine the number one contender for the AEW Women's title. And the contestants in the 21-woman Casino Battle Royal so far, it's going to be the contestants in the 21-woman Casino Battle Royal that's been announced are Nyla Rose, Thunder Rosa, The Bunny, Big Swole, Julia Hart, Ty Conti, Diamante, Penelope Ford, Red Velvet, Hikaru Shida, Emi Sakura, Jade Cargill, Kiera Hogan, Abaddon, Layla Hirsch, Kylan King, Rebel, Jamie Hayter. Wait a minute. The contestants in the 21-woman Casino Battle Royal are Nyla Rose, Thunder Rosa, The Bunny, Big Swole, Julia Hart, Ty Conti, Diamante, Penelope Ford. Wait, the contestants in the 21-woman Casino Battle Royal are Nyla Rose, Thunder Rosa, The Bunny, Big Swole, Julia Hart, Ty Conti, Diamante, Penelope Ford, Red Velvet, Hikaru Shida, Emi Sakura, Jade Cargill, Kiera Hogan, Abaddon, Layla Hirsch, Kylan King, Rebel, Jamie Hayter, Riho, and Jamie Hayter, and then there's going to be 2 more contestants announced. And I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, there's going to be 2 more contestants in the 21-woman Casino Battle Royal announced. Now for All Out, it was supposed to be Pac versus Andrade El Idolo, but the match got scrapped because Pac is having visa issues, travel restrictions due to COVID-19. So Tony Khan, the president and owner of AEW, took to social media and announced that the match between Pac versus Andrade El Idolo has been scrapped due to travel restrictions. So it's going to be postponed for a future episode of AEW Rampage, which I can't wait to see that either. And so the match card, I'm going to go over the match card again. The match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW All Out 3, the pay-per-view event. For the pre-show, it's going to be the Hardy Family Office, which are Matt Hardy, Mark Quinn, Isaiah Cassidy, Angelico, and Jack Evans, versus the Best Friends, which are Chuck Taylor, Orange Cassidy, and Wheeler Yuta, and the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. That's for the pre-show. For the main show, it's going to be Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage for the AEW title, the Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, versus the Lucha Brothers, which are Rey Fenix and Penta El Cerro Miedo, in a steel cage match for the AEW Tag Team titles, Miro versus Eddie Kingston for the AEW TNT title, Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's title, Paul White versus QT Marshall, Chris Jericho versus MJF, and the stipulation is, if Chris Jericho loses, he has to retire from in-ring competition. CM Punk versus Darby Allin. Jon Moxley versus Satoshi Kojima. And a 21-woman Casino Battle Royal to determine the number 1 contender for the AEW Women's title. So the match card for All Out 3 looks like it's going to be awesome. I'll be watching that because I'll be off work. I can't wait to see it. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite from last night, which was September 1st, 2021. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road.